tell the story yet again of how, you know, I was one of the few people at Woodstock that didn't get it. And of course I got it when it worked for The Who so well subsequently, because the movie was so great and the story was so great behind Woodstock, all those people that maybe weren't there that thought they were, and you know, I was there and I thought I wasn't. But there were a lot of people who were there who maybe wouldn't remember it the way that other people did, because in the book I tell the story of us walking over the hill. There was at the farm there was this natural amphitheatre, but when you walked over the hill over the back, that's where all the millions of people were back there. Many of them didn't even really attend the concert because the conditions were so awful and because the field was full. And it wasn't full necessarily with millions of people, it was full with blankets and children and tents. And when the Who went on stage at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, most of the audience were asleep. And that's despite Sly and the Family Stone doing an amazing gig. Quickly tell you a story, because this has happened to me recently. I'm going to France, where my partner Rachel's got a house, and I get to the airport, and all the guys from Elton John's band are getting on a plane. I go and sit in my seat, and a couple of seats away is a black lady, and I couldn't really tell how old she was, but I knew she was something to do with the band. And halfway through the flight, I leaned over and I said, "So, you know, are you working in Elton's band?" And she said, "Yes, I'm a singer." And I said, "Oh, great." I said, "How long have you been working with him?" She said, "For long enough. You know, he's a hard-working guy, and I'm very tired all the time." Anyway, a bit more of the flight passed, and then she turned over and she touched me, and she said, "You know, you and I have been on a stage together." And I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well," she said, "I was at Woodstock and I sang with Sly and the Family Stone." And I went, "Fucking hell, man! Sly and the fucking Family Stone! Oh, shit!" Oh, sorry. They did the best gig you have ever seen in your life. They were just so hot. And what was so extraordinary, and I said, you know, after I calmed down, she said, "Yep." We were good, and then she said, "And I was his girl." You know. Everybody else was doing LSD. Sly and the Family Stone were doing cocaine. They were up there. And what I remember was standing on the side of the stage and thinking, how many more times are they going to play? Gonna get you higher. And of course, Sly was waiting for everybody to wake up. And they did. They woke up, they got out of their sleeping bags, and they stood up and started, you know. And I thought, when we go on, I'm going to do that. And I did it. I did it with, you know, listening to you, I get the music. And at one point, we played it so many times, I was actually waiting for the sun to come up. Keith was playing, he's going, "Hey, no more, please, no more, stop! Don't do any more, I'm getting bored." Seriously. And another incident there that happened was the radical political activist Abbie Hoffman coming on just before I was about to play Acid Queen, which was my thing, my piece. It's the song, I am the Acid Queen. And I used to kind of summon up. And it's just a bit kind of weird, and maybe you'll get this, that maybe you won't, but I would try to imagine that I was female and really pretty amazing, and I was going to get this boy and inject him with stuff, and that was the persona that I was in when I turned to my microphone to sing, and Abbie is standing there and he's saying, "This is a crock of shit. You know, there's all you guys out there pretending everything's about peace and love, and my friend John Sinclair has been incarcerated for one lousy joint." Anyway, however much sympathy I felt with him, I'd started the song, I was already playing the intro, and I'd restrung my guitar, and it had one of these things sticking out, a big thing sticking out, a big string about that long. And I'd go, get out of the way, and the string cut his neck. It could have cut his artery, but it cut his neck and he started to bleed. And he went down and stood by the side of the stage, and right the way through the song, he looked at me all the way through. At the end, I turned to him and I went, "Sorry." If your child ain't all he should be now, this girl will put him right. I'll show him what he could be now. Just give me one night. I'm the gypsy, the acid queen. Pay me before we start. I'm the gypsy, I'm guaranteed to tear your soul apart. Give us a room and close the door. Leave us for a while. Your boy won't be a boy no more. Young, but not a child. I'm the gypsy, the acid queen. Pay me before we start. I'm the gypsy, I'm guaranteed to break your little heart. Gather your wits and hold on fast. Your mind must learn to roam, just as the gypsy queen must do. You're gonna hit the road. My work is done now, look at him. He's never been more alive. His head it shakes, his fingers clutch. Watch his body rise. I'm the gypsy, the acid queen. Pay me before